All right, well, this is just your weekly reminder that we post every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for the full visuals. You can still follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Nothing But Controversy. You can now go to nothingbutcontroversy.com to read our newest blog written by the man himself, Mr. Shaner O'Donnell. And if you want a link to every single one of our social media platforms, just click the link in our bio on our Instagram page.
This is Nothing But Controversy. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Four guys on a podcast and we're talking about sports. Nothing But Controversy with Matt, Dawson, Cam, and Shaner.
Well, what's up, guys? And welcome to episode 23 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. We have a very special episode for you today, as one half of the Press Box Chatter crew is back with us again, Mr. Samuel Bird.
What's going on, fellas?
The Birdman is
What's
back.
up?
Anyways, before I go over the little schedule, I just got to give you guys a little reminder that we are now 115 days away from the start of the 2021 NFL regular season. We're literally 2 weeks away from
Sub
being
100.
in double digits. And I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
We're 120 days away from finding out if Kadarius Toney is going to be worth that 20th overall.
Oh man, here we go. I swear, man. This is good.
Yeah.
Every time, every episode, you guys just keep talking about him.
Okay. Well, to be honest, when I sent out the plan for this week, I titled this episode Playoffs, Baby, because, as you know, the NHL and NBA are headed full-fledged into their freaking playoffs this year, and I am so excited. So, yeah, little spoiler alert. Today we're going to be talking about the playoffs. But let's go over the schedule. We're going to start off with This Week in Sports, as always, go into our question of the week, then our bold prediction of the week, and then we're going to give out our end of NBA season awards. Then our NBA playoff predictions. We go straight to the NHL, give our NHL awards for the end of the season there. NHL playoff predictions. And then we do top 5 best players in the NHL today, which is surely to be very controversial. And then we end the episode with Lock of the Week in terms of betting, as always. All right?
All right.
A lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of controversy to be brought. Let's get into it. And let's start with This Week in Sports. So a lot of stuff happened this week, okay? I have 2 smallish things to bring up. I don't know if you guys want to go first. I could go first. I'm going to start with UFC 262 happened, okay? And we saw Charles Oliveira knock out Michael Chandler to become the UFC lightweight champion of the world. This guy has an unbelievable story. I don't know if you've heard it, but Charles Oliveira has the most finishes in UFC history. A finish is either a TKO, like a knockout, or a submission. He has the most in history, and he also now holds the record for most fights without getting a title shot, right? So he got his title shot in his 28th fight in the UFC. And to put that in perspective, Michael Chandler got a title shot in his second fight in the UFC. His second time fighting in the UFC was for the freaking lightweight belt. And he lost, thankfully. I mean, my lock of the week was Charles Oliveira. I mean, Michael Chandler was winning that fight in the round 1, and then Charles Oliveira came in the second round and absolutely knocked him out, which is amazing. I don't know if you guys really want to talk about that. I know, Cam, you like UFC. Don't know.
I'm upset about Tony Ferguson, to be honest. I put my money where my mouth is. I threw a little guap on it. Didn't pay off, and now Tony Ferguson's career is all but over, which is very unfortunate. There's a lot of controversy with Michael Chandler, but he put his name on the line and he showed out. I thought he was going to end it in the first round.
Very well could have won that belt in the first round.
Overall, though, good card again. Good to see fans in the building.
Yeah,
great event.
Mm-hmm. All right, are you guys good with that one? You guys don't want to talk about that? All right. Second thing is towards basketball, okay? And it's just kind of a stat that I saw today. Listen, it's about scoring in the NBA. And congratulations to Steph Curry, who locked up the NBA scoring title. I think he's scoring 31.6 or 7 points per game this year. It's the second time winning the scoring title. Congrats. But this one is about my boy, LeBron James, who has now officially clinched averaging more than 25 points per game in 17 straight years. The guy who's known as a pass-first player, the greatest basketball player of all time, has now clinched 17 years in a row, averaging more than 25 points per game. Imagine looking at his stats, he's got more than 25 points per game every year, and you're like, you know what? That wasn't even his greatest strength. To me, that's just such an unbelievable stat to look at.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't surprise me, though. Like, LeBron has just been that much better than everyone his whole career. Like, it doesn't surprise me. I saw that stat today, too, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
It is something you expect, but at the same time, he's not a scorer. Like, he's a pass-first guy. So, for him to have 17 in a row is pretty crazy.
Good for Braun, man. I have nothing else to say. Just good for him. Like, he's a great.
I feel like I see news about LeBron every single day.
And if you don't, Matt will supply it for you. Guaranteed.
I'm telling you, I will, because people don't appreciate his greatness. It's ridiculous. I say it all the time. Like, people hate LeBron lovers, and I don't understand why. Like, it's just, I don't understand. Whatever. Dawson, you go if you have anything to bring up.
Look, I don't have any huge sports to discuss with you guys. Obviously, all our listeners know, a bunch of Canadian boys here. For the first time in 7 or 8 years, the Toronto Tampa Bay Raptors are not going to be playoff bound. That just hurts my heart. Obviously, the season was set up for failure for the Raptors, not having a home stadium, playing in Tampa Bay, getting COVID throughout the organization. It was just kind of a disaster from the beginning. Obviously, very, very likely we're going to see the greatest player in franchise history walk this year in Kyle Lowry. I don't know. It just sucks that this is the way it's going out. Almost like I don't want to say we're entering a rebuild, but the Raptors have a lottery pick. Like, that's wild. And no, it sucks for Lowry. It's crazy to imagine this team is 2 years out of a championship. But yeah, it's just, I don't know if Shane and Cam, the Raptors fans in the building have anything to say, but for me, this was just it was a depressing stat to see that they're not going to be in the playoffs this year.
I was just gonna touch on Kyle. Like, that sucks, man. If he'd have walked away after they won the championship, we all would have felt a little better than we do now. A little bit of a tank happened towards the end of the year there. Like, it wasn't shocking to anyone.
Yeah.
It wasn't. They didn't try to hide it at all. They even got fined for whatever, holding players out. So it is what it is. Shit year. Bounce back next year.
Just off-season number 4 of heartbreak. First we lost DeMar, then we lost Kawhi, then we lost Serge, and now we're losing Kyle Lowry.
It just sucks.
4 years
And we lost Norm mid-season.
Yeah. This is 4 years, 4 off seasons in a row where my heart just completely gets stabbed.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, Kyle might hurt more than DeMar did.
Well, yeah, because we're not getting Kawhi Leonard back.
Yeah. That's true. But yeah, that's all I had to bring up.
I have a
all you
wild
Raptors
stat.
fans, stay strong.
I have a wild stat about, like, speaking of, like, teams that didn't make the playoffs, okay? So when the NBA season starts, like, every single team has, like, a Vegas, like, over-under win prop total, right? Okay?
Oh, is this Damian
I saw
Lillard?
this stat.
I saw
Is this
that.
Damian Lillard?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll bring it
talk
up
about
after.
that after.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw this stat where the Oklahoma City Thunder's win prop total was 24. Okay? At, like, the midway point of the season, they were 20-24. They needed 4 wins. They proceeded to go 2-26.
Yeah.
And lost the over. They went under, and they needed 4 wins with, like, 30 games left.
Yeah.
Like, imagine betting the over on that prop.
I would have cashed out.
Losing that way. Like,
I don't think I would have cashed out.
No, I definitely wouldn't have cashed out.
Man.
But I also saw this stat that between the the Cavs and the Thunder, they went like 1 for 36 in their last like 38 games or whatever it was, and both wins came against the Celtics. Like,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But the stat I was just about to touch on was at the beginning of the season, some random guy, like some random fan, tweeted at Damian Lillard saying that I just took the over for you guys to get 42 wins or over, or like 41 and a half.
41 and a half.
Yeah. So 41 and a half wins on the year, whatever. And Dame at the beginning of the season responded like, say less, I got you. And the guy goes, okay, great. My house is on the line.
Yeah.
And then it came down to the last game and the fucking Trailblazers blew it. And then I'm seeing all these memes of like retweeting that with like bulldozers tearing down his house.
Trailblazers did not blow it. They won.
They won last night.
Oh,
yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
So then what am I seeing?
Nah, bro.
They beat the
won.
Nuggets.
They won.
So then what
They
the fuck
finished
am I
42
seeing?
and 30. They finished 42 and 30.
Yeah, they won, and Dame tweeted at that same guy and said,
Like
"Let
I
me
said, show me the ticket.
Yeah, saw me
Oh, what the
ticket,
fuck?
and
I
then
didn't even.
Trailblazers
I saw a
won.
bunch of
They won.
retweets. Oh, I must have seen old retweets then. Shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
shout out to
they won.
shout out the Blazers. Never mind.
Big dub.
Yeah, no,
All right. And now that I have a couple Giants fans with me,
great.
earlier today, Ryan Kerrigan signed with the Eagles. You know, for the last 9 or 10 years, however long he's been in the league, that is one guy. I don't know about you guys, but every time the Eagles played Washington, that was one guy where I was like, he's going to make a big play. I'm going to hate him even more than I already do. And he just did it every time they played. And now he's part of Philly. This is one of the weirdest feelings ever. I mean, I'm excited. He's a good veteran presence, but I really want to know what you guys, like how you guys are feeling. You think he's leaving the division and then he's staying in Philly?
That's literally what I was thinking. I was like, damn, I can't believe he stayed in the division, but that's a freaking money signing for the Eagles. Holy crap.
Wait, before you jump in, Shane, did you have him on your top 5 most hated players in the NFL?
Me?
Yeah. When we did that, didn't one of you have him on your list?
I had him in the Christmas thing if one guy showed up.
Oh yeah. You would not let him in.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys, though.
All I have to say is good luck, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
A good idea for a top 5, though. Top 5 most hated players in the NFL.
Tom Brady.
I'm gonna let Sam take this one because I don't have any words to put into it. I'm very upset about it.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't know much about the guy until I saw him play against the Giants last season. But like I was coming into the season, I was scared of Washington's defense. So I mean, this kind of pressure's off my shoulders a little bit. But I mean, the fact that he stays in the division doesn't really help. I don't know why guys stay in the division though. Like, why are you going from your team to like a rival almost? I don't understand that.
Like, imagine, but you've talked shit to every single guy in that room, and then now you're walking into that room. I don't think I could ever do that.
And Washington wouldn't let him, wouldn't trade him. He asked for a trade. They wouldn't trade him. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like a revenge. Like, I'm going to play you twice a year, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to be on his back.
Yeah. That's literally the only thing I could think that would happen is just you end with bad blood. So you're like, fuck it. I'm going to take it back to them,
What was it? Was it a 1-year contract also? Like,
Yeah, it's 1 year.
yeah, he's coming back for that 1 year, 2 revenge games, and sending them on his way. But I'm not happy.
That's all I
about it.
had, honestly.
Intergo.
I thought it
Just
was a
a
money
very
signing,
weird
though.
situation.
All right, I'm gonna kick it over to hockey so Sam can kind of get involved here. Fleury became the first goalie ever in NHL history to play 15 straight postseason seasons. That's impressive. That is crazy. Honestly, I didn't even think he was in the league for 15 seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, I know he got drafted in 2003, but I didn't think he's been in the league since like 2005. I thought he got a few years in the AHL there.
Yeah, dude, he's a beast, man. Like his game against Minnesota yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was
Unbelievable.
Oh my
like a
god.
40 save performance or something. I feel bad that they lost, but he stood on his head, dude.
Bro, it was just robbery after robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one save on Kaprizov in the third period, I was like, or I don't know if it was it was in the third period, I'm pretty sure. He just like there was no way he was making the save, and then he just made he's done that his whole career.
Yeah, he's a magician.
That's
dude.
crazy.
They said at one point Ryan Hartman had 6 high-quality scoring chances, and he didn't score once.
Yeah, he almost jumped through the stands there.
I would
Almost
have
left the building.
left the building. And for the first time ever, 3 straight overtime games to start the playoffs. And we almost got 4 if Braden Point didn't absolutely undress
Yeah.
that goalie. That was impressive. Braden Point is ridiculous.
He's
I'm
a
here for it.
fantastic playoff player too.
What?
He's great in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was amazing last year.
Oh
He was
man.
the favorite for the Conn Smythe before, Hedman won it. But
Yeah.
also a little off. What were you gonna say, Matt?
I said I'm here for the overtime games. I'm
Me
here
too.
for it.
Me too. Also,
Especially when it's 0-0 heading into overtime. It was so intense yesterday.
I thought it was going to be a dud of a goal that got scored to win that game. Wasn't that bad.
We'll take it.
Also, a little off the ice thing here. I was very, very sad to find out that Frank Saravalli was leaving TSN. That was a very emotional moment for me. I love that guy. So Frank Saravalli, you have a bunch of free time now. You may join the NBC podcast.
Pull up.
Also, quick little shout out to the Laval Rocket for signing this goalie. I don't know if you guys know him, and this winger, $10.5 million for their goalie.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't get it at first. I'm like, oh, okay, they're playing like a little conditioning game, get back in the swing of things, which is actually sick. I didn't even know you could do that, but
Did that with
so
Freddie
weird seeing them in
Anderson.
the. Okay.
Sorry.
It was
Like
so
last
weird
week.
seeing them in like Laval Rocket practice jerseys today. I was like, what the fuck?
And Price is only playing like half the game tonight, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tonight.
So
Yeah.
they're putting Gallagher and Harvey Pinard on the same line.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Might have to tune in, honestly.
Yeah.
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 Watch Price let in like 8 goals or something, man.
Yeah. Also,
Oh, man.
Also, for all those watching before we started, right before we started this, Dawson or Shaner was like, should we come up with like an order? And we're like, yeah. And then Dawson's like, you know what, Sam, go before me. And then first segment, he just jumped right into it.
Absolutely, that's absolutely not what happened. You said, all right, Dawson, do you have any stories? After you were done talking. I will roll it back right now. I edit this shit. I will roll it back and tell you that you said, Dawson, go ahead.
Dawson, you go if you have anything to bring up.
Dawson, you go if you have anything to bring up. Dawson, you go if you have anything to bring up.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, shit, do I say something or do I just So with that being said, last night the Battle of Florida was game 1, ridiculous game. Probably the best playoff game I've seen in my 21 years. And Sam Bennett hit Blake Coleman from behind, like a really, really dirty hit right in the numbers. I'm sure you guys all saw it.
Mhm.
And then he got one game suspension for boarding Blake Coleman. But then if you see the Ryan McDonough hit on Anthony
That's good.
Duclair a little earlier, it's the exact same hit. But McDonough gets nothing.
It just matters who you are as a player. Who's the guy hitting him?
I guess so.
Just
I didn't know
such a
that.
stupid penalty for Sam Bennett to take. You're up 4-3. It's a huge game,
Yeah.
and you just do that. It's
Yeah.
just pretty undisciplined game on both sides. Made for a lot of entertainment, though.
Yeah. Every whistle there was a scrum.
And I heard during the third period that they had 68 hits combined. I don't know what they finished with, but that's nuts.
I don't think I've ever seen that much 4-on-4 hockey in a game.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty.
You guys good?
I'm good to go, baby.
All right. Let's go on to our next segment. It's a segment we do every week, and that's our question of the week. Since we're talking about the playoffs this week, we decided to do a championship-based question. So the question is simply, what do you think is the hardest championship to win? I'll go first. And I thought about this a lot, okay?
Yeah.
My answer is the Stanley Cup. Okay? The reason for this is because although every single league has a formula you need to kind of follow to win to win the championship, I think the NHL's formula is far harder to achieve. Does that make sense? Okay.
No.
The NBA, okay? Shut up. The NBA is built around superstars. You're not going to win a championship without a super team at this point or superstars, okay? The last one you could say that maybe happened was Toronto, but they had the best team. They had the best player in the East, and they played the super team that had both, like, two of their top 3 players missing, okay? And then there was the Dallas Mavericks when the Heat absolutely just blew it, okay? The Dallas Mavericks, I'd say, are the last, like, real fluke team to beat that premise. The NFL is built around having a young core that you get from the draft, okay, on small contracts, great defense play, and great quarterback play, okay? You're not going to win a championship without an amazing quarterback and a good defense, okay?
Like Philly, who gave up 505 yards in the Super Bowl to Brady.
Yeah, but freaking who was
Can't
the Super
beat
Bowl,
that.
who was
With
the
Nick
Super Bowl
Foles.
MVP? Who was the Super Bowl MVP? Like, they scored 44
Big
points.
Dick Nick.
Like,
Big dick.
41. Don't change that on me.
41. Okay. The MLB, to me, is just pitching and batting average, okay? Home runs kind of don't mean a lot in the playoffs. It's more about getting people on and scoring runs. And then if you can have a pitcher who just pitches lights out, it's an easy formula. To me, the NHL is just way harder, okay? Like, you could have a fluke of a goalie who just turns into a freaking heater and stops everything in his way, like Fleury did. Like, Vegas is not going to score 0 goals every game.
Fleury's a fluke.
No. I'm not saying it's a fluke, okay? I'm just saying you could have a random goalie who just decides to go hot, okay? Like Matt Murray with the Pittsburgh Penguins, okay? Like, that guy wasn't an elite goalie like Fleury is,
I mean,
right?
he did it twice. I wouldn't exactly call what he did twice a fluke.
First time he did it, were you the one who said, "Oh, Matt
Yes,
Murray is gonna be
yes.
the pitcher"? Penguins? No, come on, okay?
Also, did you see the team the Pittsburgh Penguins had?
Yeah, but still, okay? It's a different team that wins it every year, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you get, like, teams that, like build a core, like, have a dynasty, like Chicago, Pittsburgh, or whatever. But, like, when you really look at it, it's definitely the hardest – to me, like an NHL game, it's anyone's game at any time. You could walk in any game against anyone, it's going to be at least a decent game. In the NFL – you could walk into a game and say, okay, this team's going to get blown out by 30, and it'll happen. Same
Not
thing.
in the playoffs.
No, not in the playoffs, I guess. But, like,
Yeah.
you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Okay? But, like, also, like, sometimes in the playoffs, yeah. Like, when the Saints played the Bears, everyone's like, the Bears shouldn't really be there. But, like,
Right.
It wasn't a blowout.
yeah, but it was never close.
Anyways.
But you understand what I'm saying. So, yeah,
Yes.
Stanley Cup, that's the hardest one, I think.
All right. Since
What do
Matt
you
gave me
think?
shit, I'm gonna let Sam go.
I like the way you think, Matt, because I got the same thing, Stanley Cup. Is that biased because I have a hockey podcast? Yes. Do I have much reasoning as to why it's the hardest championship to win? No. But I don't know, man. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're on skates. Which I guess, these guys, that's the only reasoning I got. These guys are playing the game on skates. Skates make it harder. So there you go.
Okay.
What else do you want?
All right.
I like it. I've always said that I personally think the Stanley Cup is physically the hardest championship to win. It's the toughest on your body. Absolutely. Like, you could play fucking 21 games or whatever it is in the Stanley Cup Finals, 21 NHL games. Like, that's intense. But for me, it comes down to one thing. My answer is the Super Bowl. Okay? Because you do not have any room for error in the NFL playoffs. You can go out and have the worst fucking game of your life in the NBA, in the MLB, in the NHL, and then you still have 3 more chances, right? In the NFL, if you go out and you have the shittiest game of your life, you're done. Like, there's no tomorrow. There's none of that. Now, obviously, you can make the case that, Tom Brady is in the Super Bowl every year. NBA, you can make the case that, LeBron is in the NBA championship every year. But the NFL, not for nothing, we do have a good variety of winners. I think it's not consistently the same team winning. So for that, I have the Super Bowl just because there's no margin of error at all. You can't have a bad game in the
I
NFL
have something to
playoffs.
say.
Shoot.
Okay, so, like, one thing I forgot to say is that, to me, the NHL is also, like, the league where you walk into the year and there's always going to be, like, odds-on favorites to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
But it's never easy to predict,
No.
Like, in the NFL, right now, like you could kind of say these are probably going to be the 2 or 3. Like you're going to say, okay, the Chiefs are going to be back there. Like it's already like kind of set in stone. Like in the MLB, I mean, the Dodgers are playing like shit right now, but they're going to figure it out. Like like they're too good of a team. There's like stuff like that. Like some teams are just so good that you just like the Lakers. Like I mean, they were in second place or third place when LeBron got hurt, and now they're in seventh. That's why they're in the play-in. But they were obviously the odds-on favorite again, just because that's the way. I guess like you're saying, like you only have one chance in the NFL, but also you have 12 guys on the field, 24 starters. So like one guy having a shit game, unless it's the quarterback, is not necessarily going to destroy your chances at winning a playoff game.
No, it's not. But imagine the Chiefs, aside from their tackle injuries, their O-line injuries.
Yeah.
Imagine the Chiefs went out and played like they played in any of their prior playoff games. They probably would have lost. Like, let's be real. Not taking anything away from the Bucs defense, not taking anything away from the Bucs offense. But if the Chiefs played like they played against the Bucs, against the Bills, or anyone like that, they would have lost.
The thing is, to me, I don't think they played bad against the Bucs. I think the Bucs just freaking played like an absolute machine.
Right.
And they took advantage of the Chiefs' weaknesses.
Absolutely. Even on the flip of my argument of you can have a bad game, you can run into someone just like the NHL who's having an incredible game. And if they're having an incredible game where everything's falling for them, everything's going right, then again, there's no tomorrow where you can say like, okay, there's no way they're going to do this tomorrow. Like the NBA, if they shoot 70% from 3, you'll say, okay, well, there's no way they're going to shoot 70% from 3 in game 2.
Yeah. Like, to me, that's a fair argument, but like to me, there's a reason why some games are played like 3 times a week, like hockey and basketball, versus an NFL game where you can only play it basically once a week. Like there's a reason. Like one game takes its toll more on your body and stuff. Like it's
absolutely. I'm not saying the Super Bowl should be a 3-game series. No. I'm just saying that's why it's the hardest to win, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
One thing that I think we're like just in that little argument that you guys had, in basketball, there's a salary cap, but is there really a salary cap? There's a bunch of ways to get around it. Baseball, forget that the salary cap doesn't really exist. That's why I have the Stanley Cup here. The salary cap in hockey makes for so much parity every single year. And then one thing, like you said, Dawson, you could have one terrible game. Mm-hmm. The thing that makes it that edges hockey for me is it's also like it's equally as hard to beat the same team 4 times in a 7-game series.
Great argument.
Absolutely.
Especially look at this year in the playoffs. It like you're all the top 4 teams in every division. I mean, you have Nashville who is a little behind in the Central, and then you have St. Louis who fell off, and the Habs. Well, the Habs are the Habs. We'll see, but like other than that, most like 1 and 3 in every division is within like 5 points of each other. Like there's a lot of parity. You have no idea who's gonna win, and you have to beat these teams 4 times in a row.
Yeah. And
then move on to the next series. Start 3 days later, beat another great team 4 times in a row, and eventually someone's gonna win. But but I have the NFL right there too. Like you said, you really can't mess up at all.
Yeah.
Or you run into a hot team and you're screwed. But yeah, the NHL for me, like that's why we have so much parity every year. The salary cap has to be juggled like crazy, and then you have to hope your team stays healthy all year and makes a playoff run.
I agree. It's definitely the Stanley Cup. These guys are playing 82 games over a 7-month regular season, and that's 2 to 4 games a week that they're playing, and they're just going full speed. Like, there's not a game that you see these guys are like, oh, like this whole team's gonna take it off. Like, that whole team's flying out on the ice every game. You know, sometimes they have bad games, whatever, but then to come in and have to win 16 games out of a max of 28, and you have like NBA, you have that same 82 game season, but like Cam said, the salary cap in the NBA is $109 million for 12 players, 15 players.
Yeah.
The salary cap in the NHL is 81 for a 23-man roster or 25-man roster. Like you saw when those dynasties that Matt was talking about before, they had that core, but those guys that were outside of the core, like Chicago, every year they were trading big guys off their roster because they couldn't afford them. Like one year it was like Sharp and Oduya, and they got rid of Antti Ranta after he won the Stanley Cup for them. Like they were getting rid of big name guys, and every year we see that. Like whoever wins this year is not going to have the same team coming back. Like in the NBA, you can have the same team the exact same team coming back.
Yeah, you can add another max contract to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hate about the
You can't do that in the NHL.
No, I get that.
Like last year, Tampa Bay, if Kucherov doesn't get hurt or whatever, they could put him on LTIR, which they did. Completely finessed the system. But anyways, they were looking at trading Tyler Johnson, like giving up first-round picks to move out of contract because they had to. Obviously, it didn't end up happening because, like I said, they finessed the system with Nikita Kucherov. But they still needed to trade. Like at one point, they were like they're not going to be able to re-sign Sergachev and Anthony Cirelli.
Yeah.
And Sergachev's like a top 4 defenseman, and Cirelli's their second-line center. Like, to me, just the salary cap makes it the hardest thing, and just the wear and tear on these guys' body. And it's also the shortest offseason. Like they have 2 to 3 months. If you win the Stanley Cup in June, you're back in training camp at the beginning of September. Like you have the shortest offseason. Your body's destroyed. That's why we rarely ever see people go back to the Stanley Cup. That's why when Pittsburgh did it 2 years in a row, everybody was like, "That's insane." Like the odds we see that again in the next 10 years are very slim, except for maybe Tampa this year because, like I said, they finessed the system.
Look at Dallas. They made it to the finals last year. This year they didn't make the playoff.
Yeah. That's true. No, I know. And for me, like, I maybe I shouldn't, but I kind of take it so that the variety of teams winning makes it so that I kind of see it as easier in a sense. Like if more teams are capable of winning year in and year out, then like for me, technically it's easier. I'm not saying getting there is easier or anything like that, but that's just, again, I definitely, NHL is 1B for me. Like I said, it's the most demanding. It's this, it's that. But for me, I just have the NFL just because of the arguments I made.
Fair enough. You know what? That was a good question.
It was a good question.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for coming up with that one. Yeah. All right, let's go to our third segment. That's our bold prediction of the week. And listen, this is going to be like a playoffs episode, and I know this is supposed to be like a sports knowledge podcast, but you know what? Today it might be a little sports hope podcast. Okay? It's my bold prediction of the week that the Montreal Canadiens will win Game 1 by 2 goals.
I'm cutting off Sam, and I'm fucking bold prediction unity.
Let's go.
Bold prediction unity.
Go. Thursday night, boys. Let it
Go
happen.
Habs go, baby.
My bold prediction was that the Habs win Game 1, period. Like, not with goals or anything. But now that you've said that, I'm going to add another one real quick. Colorado, they're sweeping the Blues, man.
I like
I don't
that.
know. That says they're winning, bro. Come on now.
I like
Colorado
that.
they're overpowered, dude.
I love it.
I went with a little baseball action here. The AL East is tight. I don't know if you guys are keeping up, but Toronto's right behind Boston, and the Yankees right behind Toronto. Toronto has a series with Boston coming up this week. They're going to play 3 games. Toronto's going to win 2 out of 3. I want to go with the sweep, but a little bit unrealistic. So Toronto wins 2 out of 3 this week against Boston.
Be more bold. Say they're going to sweep.
Say
bold.
the sweep.
All right, they'll sweep.
All right.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, big week for the Blue Jays. They got the Sox, and then they got the Rays right after.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know what the Habs are doing, man. But my bold prediction, the reason it's bold is because, like I said, I don't know what the Habs are doing. But Cole Caulfield will lead the team in playoff goals. If ever he finds a way to get in the lineup, I don't know how he's left out of the lineup. He will lead the team in playoff goals. And that is the only reason it's a bold prediction, because somehow he has not earned his spot.
I think that's crazy.
Bro, you tell me you wouldn't rather have Eric Stahl?
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, listen, this is the playoffs and the end of season episode. So let's head into our NBA awards for the end of the season. So we're going to do 6 awards the 6 main awards. I don't know if I forgot one. Don't think so. But we're going to start with Defensive Player of the Year. Then we're going to go to Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, Coach of the Year, and then our MVP. Okay? And this is not who we want to win. This is who we think is going to win. If you want a separate guy to win, you can say that. But I want to know who you think is going to win. My Defensive Player of the Year is bold. But I'll let you guys say it first. Ben Simmons. Okay?
Okay. I also have Ben Simmons. Oh, wait, it's Sam's turn. Go, Sam. Fuck.
It's okay. Look, I probably know more about being a prison guard than I do about basketball. So I Googled all these.
Sam, I swear to God, if you say it, you're leaving the show.
Yeah. There's
guys-
one thing.
There's one name we don't say on this.
There's one name we
podcast.
don't say on the show.
Oh, I feel like I might have the name.
Oh,
Are
Say
the
it.
initials DG?
No.
Oh, you're good.
All right. Well, I have Draymond Green.
Okay,
Wow.
you're good.
Is that
Right.
good?
I was ready.
It's RG.
All right, go, Cam.
Oh, I have Ben Simmons as well.
Okay.
I just want to see him win.
Who did Dawson have?
I had Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I also have Ben Simmons because I refuse to say the other guy's
All
name.
right. Yeah, I'm jumping in here to start my explanation. The only reason I didn't pick Rudy Gobert is for my boy Shane. Fuck Rudy Gobert. Your name is never to be said on this show ever again. You're not welcome on the show. Ben Simmons, you are winning defensive
Okay.
player of the year.
Let me talk. I said it at the start, like you got to put who you think's gonna win, and to me, it's like really like I could see both of them winning. I could see Rudy Gobert winning it because he's already won it, so he's already kind of got that credibility. But to me, Ben Simmons is such a versatile defender. There's not a lot of guys that can guard like almost 1 to
1 to
5.
5.
I wouldn't say 5. I'd say like 1 to 4. Like to me, the only guy in the league who's been able to cover 1 to 5 consistently has been LeBron James.
Mhm.
Ben Simmons is like kind of close to that. And I think that Ben Simmons guards the best player on the court every single game. And to me, the stats that he has is kind of ridiculous in that sense. So that's why I think he should win it. I think it would be a shame if he didn't. But who knows? We'll see.
Sam, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine.
Yeah.
Oh, my reasoning as to why.
If you have any.
Look, on Google there, it said like 3, 2, and 1. I think Ben Simmons was 3, or Draymond was 3, and then either way, Rudy Gobert was first. And I said, well, maybe they'll all say him. But apparently you guys don't even use that name. So I don't know. Draymond Green, I've heard he's a good defender. Do I know what that means in basketball? No. But look, I'll take Google's word for it. So
There you go. For me, like Matt said, Ben Simmons is the best defender. I think Rudy Gobert is the best at being big. Ben Simmons can guard anyone on the court, like you said. Rudy Gobert is good at being in the paint and blocking shots and etc.
I think he's the best at being in the paint and blocking shots, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think he's the
absolutely.
No,
best.
he
like,
definitely is.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
putting Rudy Gobert on skates is my favorite play ever in NBA history.
Oh man,
why do you guys hate him so much?
I don't care.
I don't actually hate him.
Shane hates
just
him because
him.
of the whole COVID
He's a
situation.
bitch. That's what he is. He's a bitch. He's an overhyped basketball player that if he wasn't 7 foot tall would not be in the NBA.
Sam, he was that
I
guy
know
that
what
like
everyone
touched
Kind
all
of
the
the story
mics
for a
in
lot
the
of
pre-
players.
You know, he touched all the mics in the after, like in the
Yeah,
post game
yeah.
presser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about Ben Simmons. Like you guys said, I mean, to me, like there's more value in being able to guard almost anyone on the floor versus like getting a lot of defensive boards, and that's still valuable too, but just more value for me. And I think like Ben's done that so well this year. So yeah, he's got my vote.
All right, are we good? Or Shane,
good.
you have something to say?
Shane, do you have?
No, I said what I had to say.
I said my piece.
All right, let's go to Rookie of the Year. My Rookie of the Year is Anthony Edwards.
My rookie of the year is LaMelo Ball. It's also Sam's turn, and I forgot. Fuck.
We'll just say Sam's third now.
Yeah,
'cause
Sam's
I
third.
don't know.
Fuck.
Yeah. I was also gonna say LaMelo Ball.
I got LaMelo as well.
I'm going Anthony.
Okay, so listen. I would have wanted for LaMelo to win, okay? Because I think like when he was playing, he was the best. But like I said at our midseason award show, him getting hurt his case, in my opinion. And I think Anthony Edwards didn't have a subpar rookie season whatsoever. I think he was right up there. Honestly, I think we would still be having a debate if LaMelo Ball played the whole year. I think it would be less of a debate, and I think LaMelo would have won. But I think Anthony Edwards would have been in the conversation because he wasn't really that much in the conversation when LaMelo was teeing off on everyone like that.
Yeah.
But Anthony Edwards came alive, and honestly, I think he's going to be a star. Probably wasn't. I mean, I probably would have taken LaMelo Ball with the first pick, but it's not like they fucked up, in my opinion. Anthony Edwards, I think, is going to win it because of what happened to LaMelo Ball in the middle of the season. LaMelo Ball coming back and playing like 5 or 6 games or whatever it was at the end of the year does help his case, but I don't think he's going to win it.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you guys if you think that from a voter's perspective, seeing him come back from an injury that was supposed to sideline him for the year, kind of played into his case. But for me, LaMelo, when he played, has been the best rookie. And I don't want to say it's not close, but he's been a very, very dominant rookie. Like you said, him missing time definitely hurt his case. But, when we were handing out the midseason awards, it was because everyone thought he wouldn't be back. So I have LaMelo on this list. I could definitely see it being Anthony Edwards too. A little bit of a biased pick, but I don't think it overweighs too much. So I have LaMelo.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'll go fourth now. I don't care. You tell me when. I was going to say, I saw a lot of LaMelo highlights before he got hurt. And like a lot of the conversation was that he was probably going to win Rookie of the Year. And then I know he did get hurt. And I knew he came back too. But I don't know. When I initially saw it, and I haven't seen any Anthony Edwards highlights. I don't even know what team the guy plays for. But for the highlights I have seen LaMelo, it just seems like he's already fit in the league pretty well for a rookie. So that's my reasoning. Hope it was good.
I'll respect it.
All right.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards definitely closed the gap when LaMelo was out. But LaMelo's body of work this year, like Sam just said, the highlights. Like, I know Anthony Edwards had a few. Like he posted,
The dunk of the year.
pretty damn good. But it's gonna be close. That's for sure. That's one thing. And like you said, Dawson, personally, yeah, I did value that a little more. The fact that he was able to come back, and I know like maybe not everyone's as fortunate as him or whatever, but he did have a good year. Imagine if he, like you said, if he didn't get close, if he didn't get hurt, I don't think it would have been close at all. I don't think there would be a conversation right now.
Just the injury for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bigger sample size from Anthony Edwards than there was LaMelo.
That's honestly everyone's argument for Anthony Edwards, I think, in a nutshell.
Well, like we said, it's not like Anthony Edwards is a bum. Like this guy still put up 19 point something points a game.
Yeah, no.
Like he showed out. He did what he had to do to win this award, but it's just without LaMelo in the conversation now, it's a runaway.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
Dawson, you're fully muted.
Big honorable mention to Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Great season. Great year. He's
He was
going to be
the
a
steal
fucking
of the draft. He was the steal of the draft.
Absolutely.
And I said it as the draft happened. I think he dropped to 14.
Yeah. No, he was a stud.
Yeah, he was very good.
What do we got
Move
here?
on to our 6th man of the year. I have Jordan Clarkson.
I also have Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, Google told me that guy.
Yeah, I have Jordan Clarkson as well.
It's not even close. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he won it unanimously.
Yeah, to me it was the fact that he had such great point. I mean, he played on the best team in the league this year. Record-wise, and he was my pick at the midseason too, so I figured I'd rock with it. That's gonna be a theme throughout these picks as well. I don't know if you guys.
I don't have anything to add really. He's he had a good year.
You could just move on.
Yeah.
We'll go to our most improved player, and to me, this was the easiest.
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
Yeah, that's who I got.
Sam, you're killing
I'm
it.
starting to get it.
Just before we move on, I'm happy he's getting his respect now. It didn't work out for him in a couple of places, but now I think he really found a spot.
I mean, shit, the Knicks are in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
They're fourth in the
I'm
East.
saying.
They're the 4th seed.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Shout out to RJ too.
Yeah, and listen, Julius Randle to me has been so good this year and so important to the city of New York
Yeah.
that I think he deserves to get not MVP votes, but MVP discussion. I mean, he should definitely get
Let's
mentioned.
go ahead and say my answer is also Julius Randle here. Just gonna put that one in
I
there.
just saw you shaking your head, so I just figured, you're with us there. All right.
I've always been a big Julius Randle guy. I'm very happy that he got a chance in New York, and I think he's gonna get MVP votes.
Mhm.
Like,
All right.
not first place, but he's gonna get maybe third place votes.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So let's go into our coach of the year, and I have the Utah Jazz coach Quinn Snyder.
I have Monty Williams.
I have Tom Thibodeau. Did I say that
I have
right?
Tom Thibodeau as well.
Thibodeau,
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say. That's anyways, but yeah, Tom Thibodeau.
From preseason prediction to mid-season prediction to right now, I've had Monty Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to war saying he deserves it.
To me, it was a toss-up between Monty Williams and Quinn Snyder. I don't think anyone believed that both of those teams were going to get even close to 50 wins. I think more so Phoenix, to be fair. But like I said before, my midseason, I had Quinn Snyder. So let's roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, the Phoenix Suns didn't make the playoffs last year.
Mm.
Like, that's wild.
He made the playoffs since 2009.
Yeah. But I would like to give a special shout out to Chris Paul for all that he's done for the Phoenix Suns. Obviously, Monty played a huge role in this, but I don't think the Suns are anywhere near where they are without Chris Paul. Not because he's been the best player on the team, not because he's been any of that, just because of the presence he has. Chris Paul is a huge reason the Suns are where they at now.
And one thing I just want to say is that how bad would it be if the Lakers beat the Warriors in the play-in game and the Suns as the 2 seed? That's what your reward is, to be the 2 seed, is to get LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Andre Drummond in the first round.
It's crazy.
I mean, I'll explain the whole play-in after, but
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a foreshadow, I guess, if it happens.
I know that the Knicks have been historically dog water.
Yep.
So is this the first season this guy's coaching too?
Yes.
He's the first year head coach.
For the Knicks, yeah.
For the
Yeah,
Knicks.
so he's doing something right. So,
No,
Okay.
yeah, and I saw a stat where he, last year the Knicks were 18th in opponents' point per game in the NBA. Anyways, they were between 17 and 22 or 25 in all defensive stats, and this year they're all between first and seventh. I want to say there's been serious improvement with him. I do think Quinn Snyder will probably win. I think Monty Williams has a case too, but I want to give it to Tom Thibodeau. Also, because all the hate he got in Minnesota, everyone pushed him out of there, and he went to New York. He's in New York now, and he's obviously led them to the 4th seed, and we'll see what they do in the playoffs. But
Look, I think we named the 3 finalists. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think we all have different options, but I think we named the 3 finalists. And it's just a matter of 1, 2, 3 at this point.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make me mad if Monty Williams won. I just kind of stuck with the guy I had before. All right, so let's move on to, the biggest award you can get, I guess, in the NBA. And that's the MVP. My MVP is Nikola Jokic.
My MVP, as much as it pains me to say, is Jokic.
my MVP is Jokic.
Okay.
I think we're going unanimous here.
Yeah, we are.
I think right now he's a 20-1 favorite, which is kind of crazy. If I could pick who the MVP would be this year, as crazy as it sounds, it would be Stephen Curry.
I think Steph might win based off his name, to be honest.
If he won, that would be a shock to me, but because I just think Nikola Jokic has just been consistently so good. I think if Joel Embiid and LeBron James didn't get hurt, it would be a 2-man race because as it was. Joel Embiid came back a little bit quicker and made himself a tiny little bit of a case. But my midseason prediction was Joel Embiid, but that's right when he got hurt, so I knew that wasn't going to stick. But Jokic, I think, just has great stats. And honestly, it's going to be one of the weirdest MVP. It's going to be one of it's going to be I think if he wins, I saw a stat on a betting app that said he would be the most value for a preseason MVP pick in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I don't think like he's been on the come up for 4 years now, but yeah, I think it would be a surprise too if he didn't win this year. I just don't like him that much. I've said it a few times. Like I used to think he was so underrated that people made him overrated, and I don't think that anymore because he's probably going to win the MVP. But I'm just not the hugest Jokic guy, but can't deny his season. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I just love seeing big men that can do a lot offensively. You know what I mean? Like, most centers can rebound and make little passes and set screens and stuff, but he's just like, he's a bit magical, I find. I like it. And, he's just like this bit, he just looks like a goof. Like, I feel like if you pass him in the street, you wouldn't be like, this guy's a pro athlete.
No.
except for the
Other
fact
than
that he's
7
7
feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to add. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, the article I read said he was like he was a shoe-in. So yeah.
I think so too.
My
I
point.
honestly think so. I you know what? If Steph Curry gets it, I'd be happy because I
Absolutely.
think he carried that team pretty freaking hard.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like saying like, oh, like Steph is like so good in this, which he is, and like Steph is like so important to his team, and this is why he's the most valuable. And then everyone's just bringing it back to like LeBron James and like those teams he just brought like to the playoffs and to the finals. Like there's no chance the Warriors go to the finals, right?
No.
And I think the Warriors team that he has is pretty much on par with the Cavs team that LeBron had in 2018. Like that's how good LeBron James in 2018 was. But anyways, those were our NBA awards. And since we're going straight into the playoffs, we're going to go with our NBA playoff predictions. And we're not going to go over every single series and stuff because that will take forever. But I'm going to kind of explain to to you viewers what like this whole play-in tournament is. If you want to know my opinion on it, I think it's stupid.
Because LeBron said it was stupid?
No, because I think I think what's going to end up happening is a team that deserves to be in the playoffs doesn't get in. I don't understand why they changed it, to be honest. But basically what it is the first round matchups are set except for the 1 and 2 seed. They don't know who they're playing yet. So basically what happens is for the play-in tournament, the 7th seed and the 8th seed play in a game. The winner of that game will be the 7th seed. The loser of that game will play the winner of the game of the 9th and 10th seed. Okay? And then the winner of the 9th and the winner of that game versus the loser of the first game will play. The winner of that game will be the 8th seed.
Yes.
Okay? So basically, if you're the 7th or 8th seed, you have to win 1 out of 2 games to make the playoffs. If you're the 9th or 10th seed, you have to win 2 straight games to make the playoffs, to put into simple terms. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take it from the Western Conference. The Lakers are the 7th seed. The Warriors are the 8th seed. They play. The winner will play the Suns, as I was mentioning before. Okay? And then let's just say theoretically, the Lakers win. Lakers will play the Suns. And then Golden State will play the winner of Memphis and San Antonio. And then the winner of that game will play the Jazz. Simple?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so let's just go over who we think is going to be the NBA Finals matchup, what you think is going to happen in that series, like what you think, like I guess the score will be, and then your Finals MVP. I'm just kind of like on the edge about LeBron and his ankle and stuff. I think he might be playing it down, you know. But I'm never gonna bet against a LeBron James-led team. So I have the Lakers beating a shocker of a team in the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. I think the Brooklyn Nets are gonna fall apart. That's a bold prediction, but I have them beating Milwaukee in the finals. Giannis is finally gonna get there, but the Lakers will win in Game 6. And the Finals MVP will be LeBron James because there's no chance in hell a team led by LeBron James and wins the championship will not have LeBron James winning that Finals MVP unless LeBron gets hurt in Game 1.
All right. I have the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA Finals. I have the Nets winning in 6, and I have James Harden as my NBA Finals MVP.
All right. Look, I know a lot about basketball. So I got the Brooklyn Nets and the Utah Jazz. They're different conferences, right?
Yep.
Perfect. I have Brooklyn in 7, and don't ask me how, but LeBron's going to win MVP.
Okay. Okay.
Lock it in.
Yeah.
I have a shocker coming out of the West. The Phoenix
Suns,
Suns
yeah.
will make the NBA Finals,
That's crazy.
and they'll be playing the Nets. But now that the Nets are all magically healthy, they're gonna be too much for the Suns, and like you, Dawson, James Harden is gonna get his Finals MVP and maybe get a little bit less hate. But I still don't think so.
No.
I also have the Phoenix Suns
Nice.
into the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers. And Joel Embiid comes up with Finals MVP after they win.
Whoa.
How many games?
I'm going to go 7.
I saw
I
a thing
like it.
today about the Sixers, and I don't know the year span. I think it's probably like somewhere around the last 10 years or something. When they've made the playoffs as like a 1 seed or as a high seed, the team, they've either won the finals or lost to the winner of the NBA Finals.
Interesting.
So just imagine in my scenario, in the NBA Finals, you're going to have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Andre Drummond, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden.
Blake
Why the
Griffin.
NBA is a joke.
And Blake Griffin. I forgot about Blake Griffin. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
Marcus
crazy.
Well, no, he retired.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Oh,
but
okay.
everyone was not paying attention. I'm sorry, boys.
Okay. All right. So that goes far into these freaking playoffs, man. It's gonna be a weird ride. I don't know if the play-in tournament is here to stay, but I don't know. Like that's just basically like to me, it's just saying like it's taking away the value of making the playoffs. Like now it's
I guess, but
now
it's
it's
'cause
10
like.
teams that make the playoffs.
But you said I don't know why they do it. They do it because they're playing 10 less games. Like that's all it is. I'm sure when they're back to 82 games, this won't exist.
Mhm.
I hope so, honestly, because if it is, like, imagine a team like the 7th seed is like, or the 10th seed's like 12 games back of the 7th seed, and then they win 1 game and the 7th seed's out. Like to me, that's like a joke. But
Yeah, if you
I mean,
think about
I
it from
guess,
the
yeah.
NBA's perspective, like
Yeah.
entertainment value and what that's like, a bunch
Yeah.
of people who probably don't watch basketball or don't watch as much basketball are going to tune into these games to see.
You don't think
okay, is
everyone's
there
going to tune in? Yeah. You don't think everyone's going to tune in
Like,
for the Warriors Lakers?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I understand that like it's a money thing, but I think it's
Yeah.
just unfair to teams that worked hard all year, but whatever.
It also goes both ways. If the Lakers somehow slip to the 9 seed with LeBron out, people would be like, okay, well, they need a shot here. If there was 10 more games, they might have caught up.
I guess. But also if they just never changed it, they would have just been like, okay, well, LeBron James got hurt. That's kind of the reason why they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of the same thing last year. They were in the 4th seed, beating the Warriors on Christmas Day when he or 2 years ago, sorry,
Mhm.
when he got his first injury with the Lakers, and then they fell out of the playoffs.
Mhm.
Anyways, let's move on. We're done with the NBA, okay?
All right, Sam, let's trade
Time
seats
to
here.
shine.
And it's the Birdman's time to shine. The NHL season, regular season has ended for all but 2 teams. Two teams that just haven't made the playoffs, which is ridiculous. But
Like, why are they still playing?
Vancouver had to finish their games because of that whole COVID situation.
yeah, but just think about it. What if the Habs never really clinched the playoff spot? And now we're just waiting to see if
Mm.
Calgary wins all those games,
Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's just like where they are in the standings, so they could do like the lottery.
Okay, yeah, the lottery. Okay.
I
So
just
we'll go to
disagree
our-
with them pushing the North playoffs because of it, Like,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
them play. It doesn't interfere with anyone. They're both on the playoff. Anyways,
I mean, it's
sorry,
good
I'll
because the
digress.
Habs are not healthy, but it's I
Yeah.
know what you're saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to the end of season NHL awards. We're gonna go with, the two awards that are already locked in, which would be the Art Ross and the Rocket Richard. Then we're gonna go with the Selke, the Calder, the Norris, the Vezina, the Jack Adams, and then the Hart. So the first award that's gonna be given out is the Art Ross. That's gonna go to Connor McDavid, who absolutely ran away. Like who was the next closest guy? Was it Draisaitl?
Draisaitl, yeah.
How many?
82, I think.
84,
Oh,
80,
84.
80, something like that.
I think he won
20
that.
points behind him.
He won that race by like 20 to 30 points. And then the Rocket Richard, which is also a runaway in Austin Matthews, winning that with, I think, he ended the season with 42 goals, 41. But anyways,
41, yeah.
so the first will really, I mean, if you guys really want to talk about that, I don't think we really need to talk about it. They just had 2 stellar seasons, and we'll see what they could do in the playoffs, you know?
There's one thing I want to add about McDavid. He had, I think it was 70 assists on the season. If he had 0 goals, then he would have had 70 points, which would have been second to Leon Draisaitl in points in the league.
My God.
Which is ridiculous.
Oh, and Shaner sent us a stat where it was the first Rocket Richard winner to win the award without scoring an empty net goal since like 2003,
2004 season.
which is nuts.
God
Yeah.
damn.
It's crazy because these are numbers where you could win. You could almost like put yourself in this conversation to win these awards in an 82 game regular
Oh,
season.
McDavid,
100%.
absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Like, that's crazy. But all right. We'll go with the Selke, which is the award for the top defensive forward. And I'm going to give a little shout out to my boy Shaner here because he had this guy from the jump. I had him in my midseason awards. Mark Stone of the Vegas Golden Knights. You will be the Selke winner.
I also have Mark Stone.
Me too.
I have Alexander Barkov.
Yeah, I had Barkov in the midseason, and
Sam, way to ruin the perfect record, buddy. Come on, man. I got Mark Stone. There's a lot of people, a couple of guys I have that I had from the start. So I'm feeling pretty nice about myself after both teams I predicted to go to the finals did not make the playoffs.
What did you predict?
I picked Philly and Calgary.
Holy shit.
Okay, Philly Carter Hart just decided not to show up this year, okay?
Yeah.
Calgary, no idea what the hell happened there.
I have nothing to add to mine, so.
I think Barkov should I think he deserves his respect. I think I called for him to win this last time we did it, I guess, the midseason ones. But Mark Stone leads Vegas in points, and he also leads the NHL in takeaways among forwards. So hard not to give it to him, especially with Vegas being the 2 seed in that division.
Yeah. I could totally see Mark Stone winning this over Barkov. I know there are 2 names that were definitely in the conversation. I think Barkov, like you said, Cam, where he deserves his respect. I think to this day he's still a highly underrated player.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think so too.
But
If he doesn't win this year, one of these years, this will be his award.
he's going to win. But like I said on Nothing But Controversy, episode 6, I'm
Whoa.
tired of this award only going to centers. Wingers deserve their respect also. Mark Stone better win this award.
All right. Let's go to the Calder, okay? And to let everyone know, I had a hopeful one at the start of the season. I had Alex Romanov winning it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. At the midseason, I had Kirill Kaprizov, and that has not changed. He will win this award, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a 5-game season, I think Romanov was a lock. But the rookie who's not a rookie, Kirill.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Kirill.
Yeah. There's no argument, I don't think. But shout out to a rookie who had a quietly good year. And Jason Robertson in Dallas.
Yeah.
Great year. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs after making the finals last year, but it's still going to be Kirill the Thrill.
Kirill the Thrill.
Once again, since day one, dollar bill, Kirill the Thrill.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think if he was better earlier on in the season, it'd be a lot more of a conversation though.
Started off quite slow.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know who he was, to be honest. And then
Yeah.
it was like, whoa, this rookie in Dallas is like kind of starting to light it up.
I still don't know who he is, so.
Nick Robertson's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll move on to the Norris Award for the top defenseman in the NHL. I think it's going to be between 2 guys. I have Victor Hedman.
I also have Victor Hedman.
I got Adam Fox.
Yeah, I went to look up who had the most points among defensemen, and because it seems to be usually that guy, and I'm gonna give it to Adam Fox.
Well, based off that, Tyson Barrie would win the award. But
In this such a sleep disser.
I'm also going Adam Fox.
Yeah, I think like I said, I thought it was between two guys. At this point, like to me, it's a toss-up, and I would just rather have Victor Hedman on my team, I guess. So that's where I'm kind of coming at.
I just didn't know who Adam Fox was until like he was probably like 2 months ago. So I chose Victor Hedman.
I think
Adam-
Hedman will probably win, but I think Fox deserves to win.
I think Hedman will. If Hedman wins, it's probably because he has played through injury for a good portion of the season. I know the tail end of the season. And Adam Fox, similar to Robertson, if his play was better earlier on in the season, I think he would have ran away with this award.
Also, Victor
And the
Hedman.
Rangers didn't make the playoffs, which doesn't help.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Victor Hedman is also the best defenseman in the NHL.
Okay, Adam Fox was 1 point behind Tyson Barrie.
I
So
know.
I'm sorry for saying that, but he's right there.
Sometimes I gotta fact check you.
Tyson Barrie, he passes the puck to McDavid, it's automatically
Yeah,
he gets the
exactly,
point. That's how that works.
I don't think
Exactly.
he cares because he's still gonna get like $7 million in free agency this year.
That's true.
Okay, quickly before we go, again, someone who watches like very limited NHL, but limited NHL. What happened to Cale Makar this year? Did he have a bad year? Did he?
Got hurt.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Okay.
He was my pick at the start of the year.
Yeah, me too.
When he was on the ice, he was absolutely electric. However,
Shout out to Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened to you, man.
All right. Let's move
Okay.
on to the Vezina, which is the top goaltender in the NHL. And at the start of the season, I had Andrei Vasilevsky. At the midseason, I had Andrei Vasilevsky. And at the end of the year, I have Andrei Vasilevsky.
I'm gonna switch it up. I have Mr. Grubauer.
ooh.
Same. Philip Grubauer.
Fuck yeah.
I like that pick for sure, but I can't go away from Vasilevsky this year. Yeah, he's been nuts. I mean, Colorado finally got Dubnyk, but like Vasilevsky's in that same situation in Tampa. Like, I couldn't name you their backup right now, and I frankly don't care who it is. I really don't care. It doesn't matter. It literally just doesn't matter who I don't know, to me.
Boys, I got a shock for Vezina. UC Saros.
Oh.
This guy's getting some MVP consideration right now. He's not gonna win, but
He's in the conversation.
He's not going to win, then why didn't you pick him?
he's not gonna win MVP.
Oh, okay.
So I
If he's
think
gonna win.
if he's in the MVP conversation, then he's gonna be in the Vezina conversation. He is the sole reason that Nashville made it back to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The only thing that kills me about Vasilevsky and Grubauer is how good their teams are in front of them. So a lot of voters are going to look at that and be like, Saros literally put the team on his back to bring them back. Like a week before the trade deadline, it was like a fire sale in Nashville.
I
And now
remember that.
Yeah, now they're in the fourth seed. Probably going to get swept, but UC Saros, you got my vote, buddy.
All right. You guys good?
I'm great.
All right. Let's move on to the Jack Adams Award for the Coach of the Year in the NHL. And listen, I don't want to toot my own horn, but at the start of the year, my prediction was that the Colorado Avalanche would win the President's Trophy, and in turn, Jared Bednar would win Coach of the Year. One of those things has happened. So I'm just waiting for the other one to happen, okay? Jared Bednar, you get my vote.
Joel Quenneville.
Yes, sir. Joel Quenneville.
Yeah, I have Joel Quenneville as well.
From start to finish, Dean Everson, Minnesota, baby.
Fair enough. Cam, who was your guy at the start of the year again?
DJ Smith. I went with Shane's recipe. Hey, come on. What are you laughing at? Ottawa's gonna be great. Maybe not great
They're gonna
next
be
year, but
disgusting. They're-
Ottawa's
DJ
gonna be
Smith is
disgusting.
not. He might be in the Jack Adams conversation in the next 3 years.
I think he'll be in the next.
Yeah,
All right.
I was giving him a little bit of optimism.
And then we go on to the last award, the most important award,
Patty Kane.
the Hart Trophy winner will be Mr. Connor McDavid Mr. Connor McDangles.
Connor McDavid for me as well.
Make that 3.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to admit that I was wrong.
Okay.
So you know where I'm going.
The easiest pick for a Hart Trophy, I
Watch
think.
him not win it.
Literally the easiest pick for a Hart Trophy, I think,
Like in years.
since I can remember.
I don't know. Kucherov was a pretty runaway like 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
you're right. But I think Connor McDavid had a better year this year than Kucherov did.
Well, he did, but
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, listen, it's this guy never ceases to amaze me. You just watch him play and you're like I've said this before on the podcast, Sam, maybe you heard it, maybe you haven't, but I think that Connor McDavid is the best hockey player I've ever seen play in my life. I never got to see Wayne Gretzky play, so I can't really comment on if he's better than him, but to me in this day and age, I just see Connor McDavid get on the ice and he's just so much better than everyone else in like every way.
I agree.
Ridiculous. But yeah,
I still love you.
Honorable mention, Tom Wilson for Lady Bing.
that's bad. That's bad.
Tom Wilson is a great hockey player.
He is.
Yes.
He is. Would you like to have him on your team, Sam?
I would love to have Tom Wilson on my team.
There's not a team in the league that doesn't want Tom Wilson on their team.
Even the fucking Rangers would probably take it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Those are our NHL awards. Not bad. Let's go on to our NHL playoff predictions. In the NHL this year, the playoffs are also different, like in the NBA. The divisions were different. All the teams were about like mixed up in bunch and stuff. What the fuck did I just say? But anyways, they were mixed up. And now how it's going to work is the top team will play the 4th team in the division, 2 versus 3, kind of like the other years too. But unless there's like the wild card and stuff. But then like the winner of 1 and 4 will play the winner of 2 and 3. And then the winner of that will go to the, I don't even know if they're going to call it the conference championship, like conference final. Are they even going to call it that? But whatever. And then those 4 teams that make it out of their divisions will get reseeded based on their record. They will play, and then the winners of those 2 series will go to the Stanley Cup, right? So basically what we're going to say is who comes out of each division, and then who we think will be in the Stanley Cup, what's going to happen in the Stanley Cup finals, and who's going to be the Conn Smythe for playoff MVP. Okay? We'll start with the Central Division, where Nashville is playing Carolina. Nashville, the 4 seed, Carolina, the 1 seed. Tampa Bay, the 3 seed, playing Florida, the 2 seed. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Carolina and Nashville have played yet, but
Tonight.
Tampa Bay beat Florida yesterday, so they're up 1-0. Doesn't really change my my prediction. I think Carolina is going to beat Nashville. I think Tampa Bay is going to beat Florida, and I think Tampa Bay is going to beat Carolina to make it out of that division.
I fully didn't prepare for this. I thought we were just doing Stanley Cup finals, so I'm completely lost. So I'm going to hand over to Sam, and he's going to – whatever Sam says is my answer.
Okay.
Well, Carolina and Nashville is going to be interesting. Carolina beat Nashville 6 times out of 8 this season, but UC Saros is on the horse now. Carolina is still going to win the series, but I could see it going to 6 games. And Florida is going to beat Tampa in the end, even without Aaron Ekblad. But Carolina is still coming out of that division.
You're breaking my bracket here, Sam.
I think I just broke my own too. But
Okay.
To me, like I would love to see Carolina or Florida come out of this division, but Kucherov came back for the first time in 56 games and scored and just lit it up. So to me, yeah, I think Carolina's going to beat Nashville, but I think Tampa beats Florida and then Nashville.
You mean and then Carolina?
I mean,
Yeah.
Carolina, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Tampa's going to beat Carolina to go to the Final Four.
Okay. So then we'll go to – so just to recap, all of us have Tampa Bay going to the conference champion. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest, except for Dawson.
Stanley Cup semifinals, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that's a good one. There you go. Except for Sam, who has –
Me and Sam.
you had Florida, coming out of that division? Okay.
Yeah, well, Carolina beats Florida, but Florida beats Tampa.
Oh, okay. So Carolina coming out of that division.
Yeah,
Okay.
Carolina coming out of that division.
Okay. So then we'll go to the East Division, where the number 4 Islanders beat the number 1 Pittsburgh Penguins in Game 1, and the number 3 Boston Bruins lost to Washington, the number 2 Washington Capitals in Game 1. I have Pittsburgh coming back from down 1-0 and winning that series. Although it wouldn't surprise me if the Islanders won. I think the Islanders are a really good 4 seed.
But yeah, just to interrupt you for a quick
Yeah.
second. All 4 of those teams are within 6 points of each other.
Yeah.
Like there's no real underdogs, you know.
The Islanders in first for a really long time in that.
Yeah, they were.
And then I have Washington beating the Bruins. Even though they won the first game, like I had them winning regardless. And then I have Washington beating Pittsburgh to make it out of that division and go to the Final Four.
Am I up or
Yeah, go for it. It's all you.
Giving it to you, buddy.
Matt? I have the opposite of what you got here. Look, 2019, the Islanders swept Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh doesn't have Malkin right now. Islanders don't have Varlamov for the moment, but Sorokin, a KHL champion goalie, he's been fantastic all season. So I see the Islanders beating Pittsburgh, but Boston, who will beat Washington, will eventually beat the Islanders.
Okay.
You know, I did this for the sake of our podcast, but I have absolutely zero clue what's going to happen in this division. Like to me, this is the most intriguing. I have Washington coming out. They're missing Samsonov right now, who had a pretty good year, and Vanacek just got hurt, so that might be interesting. But Kuznetsov also out with COVID, right? That they're on the COVID protocol, I believe. Yeah. So and they still won Game 1, so I think they'll get out of that division.
Before the playoffs started, I made a $5 parlay of everybody I thought was going to win their series, and so far I have not lost a game.
Okay.
We're going to pray that we just sweep every series. It's the quickest $500 I'll ever make. So, I have the Islanders beating the Penguins, Washington beating Boston, and Washington beating the Islanders.
Okay.
Go to the Final Four.
Okay. I had like a quick $4 in my betting account, and I just threw it on the Habs to win the cup at 26-1. So if they win the cup, I win like $127. So that would be nice.
That's $3 down the drain.
Yeah. But whatever. I'll take it if they win, you know. Let's move on to so just before we move on. So I had Washington coming out of that division. So did Cam and Shane.
Yeah.
And Sam had the Boston Bruins coming out of that division.
Sam is just carrying Dawson to go against the group right now.
That's correct.
So going into the West Division, we have the number 4 St. Louis Blues playing against the President's Cup trophy winning number 1 seed Colorado Avalanche, and the number 3 seed Minnesota Wild, who are up 1-0 against the number 2 Vegas Golden Knights, who are very close to winning the President's Cup. They were second best record in the NHL. I have Colorado beating St. Louis, and I have Vegas beating Minnesota, coming back there, and Colorado beating Vegas. I don't know if Colorado is going to sweep the Blues like Sam said, but I don't think it gets past 5.
Oh no, man! St. Louis is lucky if they score a goal that whole series. So yeah, throw that in the bold prediction.
Oh baby!
So Colorado, they'll handle the Blues, no problem. Minnesota is going to take care of Vegas. Write it down. But Colorado is going to send Minnesota packing.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me, because I have Vegas coming out of this division. The only thing that scares me is I think Minnesota will beat Vegas 5 times in a row this year.
Minnesota beat Vegas 5 out of the 9 times they played each other.
There you go. So, anyways, I have Vegas winning this series. It's going to be close. So, this very well may go to 7 games. Maybe Minnesota sweeps Vegas. Who knows? But I definitely have Colorado beating St. Louis. And then Vegas and Colorado split their season series. So I have no idea what's going to happen there. But for the sake of this, I really like Vegas. So they're going to come out of this division.
Sam, for the first time, you are not riding alone, my friend. We have the exact same predictions. We got Minnesota over Vegas, and then we got Colorado winning, and then Colorado beating Minnesota.
That's what I'd like to hear.
All right, so before we move on, myself, Sam, and Shaner, I guess Dawson too, have Colorado moving on, while Cam has Vegas moving on. So then we're going to go to the North, which is obviously going to be our favorite division to look at since our favorite team's there. We have the number 4 Montreal Canadiens playing against the number 1 Toronto Maple Leafs, the number 3 Winnipeg Jets playing against the number 2 Edmonton Oilers. I have the Oilers beating the Jets. And I have the Canadiens beating the Toronto Maple Leafs. They're going to shock the world. And they're going to make it to the Final Four. All right? I said before, this is going to be a hopeful podcast. But anything can happen in the playoffs. And I will not bet against a healthy Carey Price, who's coming off, he's coming off his injury, but he's healthy now. He had some time. The Habs are kind of getting a little bit healthier. They've shown that they can stick with it. They beat the Maple Leafs a couple times. And there's just something about the Maple Leafs in the playoffs that just screams, I can't do it. I know they've never had a team this good. But listen, it is the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the hardest championship to win. There's no team that's a clear winner in any division, in any series. So, hey, Montreal, this is me giving you some support. I have you making it to the Final Four. Let's go.
Look, this is nothing but controversy for a reason, so I understand that pick. But I don't know, man. I have the Leafs beating the Habs. As much as I don't want to say that because I'm a Habs fan and because Jack Campbell has literally zero playoff experience aside from being Jonathan Quick's backup. But Toronto's just built different this year. I would not be surprised if this is their year. So I have them beating Montreal, and I have Edmonton beating Winnipeg. I think McDavid is going to go savage mode, but I don't think it's going to be enough for the Oilers to beat Toronto. So I have Toronto coming out of that division.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I have Edmonton beating Winnipeg, and as unfortunate as it's going to be to watch, Toronto's too much to handle for the Habs. They're going to beat the Habs and come out of our division.
All right. I'm lone wolfing, boys. I got the Toronto Maple Leafs to beat the Montreal Canadiens. Then I have the Winnipeg Jets beating the Edmonton Oilers and then beating the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow.
Okay, so Cam, who did you have coming out of the division? Toronto?
Yeah, I have Toronto.
Okay, so Toronto for Cam and Sam. I had Montreal, and Shane had Winnipeg.
Look, we talked about it before. We said you just need a goalie to get hot, and there's no goalie better in the North Division than Connor Hellebuck. He may have had a pretty tough year, but I have the faith that he's going to turn it on. And the Leafs might have the Jets might have the best top 6 in the NHL.
If they have a healthy Ehlers,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
I disagree about the goalie thing. I think playing at their best, Carey Price is a better goalie than Hellebuck, but okay. Playing at their best?
No.
Yeah.
No, not right now.
At his best, Carey Price was a Hart Trophy winner, so.
Maybe 5 years. Yeah, in 2016.
At his best.
But he's not what he was 5 years ago. At his best right now is not what he was 5 years ago.
All right, we'll see.
Shane DeSantis, the Habs hat on right now.
Sam, is Carey Price the goalie he was in 2016?
No.
Thank you.
I said playing at his best, Shaner.
But his best now.
Shane
is
meant
not
like
his
the best he
in
can possibly play
2016.
this year.
Yeah.
Right. We'll see.
Not what he was in 2016.
We'll see. We saw it last year in the
even think we'll
playoffs.
see
He
his
played like an
best,
absolute
man.
machine.
And
So
Connor Hellebuck coming off his nice little Vezina trophy is a lot better than Carey Price at his best right now.
all right, we'll see. We'll see. But here we go. If we reseed these teams, I have Colorado playing Montreal. And then I have Washington playing Tampa Bay. Unfortunately, I have Colorado beating Montreal, ending Montreal's magical run. And I have Tampa Bay beating Washington to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. At the start of the year, my prediction was Colorado beating Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup Finals. That is very much a possibility, very much what I've kept. So I have Colorado beating Tampa Bay in Game 7 with Nathan MacKinnon winning the Conn Smythe Trophy.
I'm actually going to jump in because this is the only thing I prepped for. At the beginning of the year, I had the Colorado Avalanche beating our very own Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Finals. That obviously is not going to work out. I don't even know if it's possible for the Avalanche to play the Leafs in the finals. Is it?
No.
It's not. So that
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have the Avalanche playing the Leafs. I have the Leafs winning, and I have Austin Matthews as your Conn Smythe?
Conn Smythe, yeah.
Conn Smythe winner.
I have a Colorado and Carolina Stanley Cup final, but I have Colorado winning and Big Daddy Mac as Conn Smythe winner, Nathan MacKinnon.
I think I had Carolina in the finals at the beginning of the year, which I thought was bold, but, could still happen. Not in my bracket, though. I have Vegas playing Tampa and Toronto playing Washington in the reseeding. We're going to get a Vegas-Washington finals again.
Round 2.
Again.
Okay.
And Marc-Andre Fleury is going to win the Conn Smythe. I was holding this in all episode because we talked about him at the beginning. But I'm proud to announce it. You heard it here first. Fleury's going to win the Conn Smythe at 30, however old he is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going back-to-back in Game 7 against the Colorado Avalanche, and Nikita Kucherov is walking off with that Conn Smythe trophy.
After the game he played yesterday, it's kind of hard to argue with you.
Could you imagine a guy missing the whole regular season and tearing it up in the playoffs and winning the Conn Smythe?
I can't believe
If
that.
there's one guy that can do it, it's probably Kucherov or McDavid.
The league, like a bunch of fans will be so mad. Fans were furious yesterday.
I was going to say, the NHL Twitter and Facebook and every other social media platform are pissed already. If he goes on to win the Conn Smythe, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah. That's for sure. All right. Well, that was our NHL playoff predictions. Stay tuned. It's about to get juicy because we're about to go into everyone's favorite segment, and that is Top 5. Like I said before, it is surely to be one of the most controversial top 5s we've had. We were spamming the group text before. Everyone was kind of just saying, I left this guy off. And Shane's like, you're going to hate my list. I'm going to get flamed and stuff like that. But top 5 best players in the NHL today, the way I took it is if I'm starting a team, no salary cap, these are the 5 guys that I'm taking easily, okay? Number 1, we could get it out of the way. It's Connor McDavid, obviously. Best player in the league. Maybe the best player I've ever seen, okay? But before we get on to the other ones, I left a guy off that you guys are probably going to have on your list. Leon Draisaitl.
I left him off too.
He would be my 6, okay? The reason I say this is, yes, he won the Hart last year. Yes, he proved that he could play without Connor McDavid. But I do think that he shines because of Connor McDavid in a lot of ways. Okay? Leon Draisaitl is a fantastic player, but I think that these 4 players are better than him. Okay? Number 5, it might be a shocker. Nikita Kucherov is my number 5 on this list. Absolutely an unbelievable player. It's as simple as that. Number 4, the only non-forward I have on this list, Victor Hedman, the best defenseman in the NHL, in my opinion. So I have two guys from the Lightning on this list right away. It's kind of hard to argue with that. I know Shane is going to get upset at me for this one. Shane has said countless times that Austin Matthews is now the number 2 player in the NHL. I am not ready to say that. Austin Matthews, you are number 3. And Nathan MacKinnon, you are number 2, with Connor McDavid at number 1, of course. Shane, I see a lot of face emotions. What do you want to say to me, pal?
McKinnon's not better than Matthews, and I don't think it's close. It's not.
Disagree.
It's
I,
not.
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
All right. I'm going to go. Okay. As you guys know by my lack of participation in the last segment, hockey is not my strong suit in terms of knowledge, but I did not Google my list. I did send it off to some references to make sure I'm not insane and missing anyone crazy. So I think it's okay. Number 5, I have Leon Draisaitl. Okay. He's good at hockey. Number 4, I have Nikita Kucherov. Also good at hockey. Number 3, I have Austin Matthews. He is good at hockey. Number 2, Nathan MacKinnon. And number 1, Connor McDavid.
Okay.
How did I do?
That was pretty good.
I like
Thank you.
Matthews being behind McKinnon, but that's fine.
All right.
Okay, my top 5 best players in the NHL today. 5. I think it's going to be a shocker right off the bat. We've mentioned him a few times today. Marc-Andre Fleury.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Firing.
That game yesterday, it just changed something. I don't know what it was. 4, Austin Matthews. 3, Nathan MacKinnon, because he's better than Austin Matthews. 2, I think you guys are disrespecting this guy a little bit. Sidney Crosby.
I knew that
He's
was coming.
still one of the best. Like his goal yesterday against the Islanders, that tip-in.
one-handed.
There's this guy, he's 110 years old. He's still one of the best in the league. And number 1, Connor McDavid. Sorry, Draisaitl. Sorry, Kucherov. See ya.
Sam, we have such similar lists, except to just one guy. At 5, Sidney Crosby. Guys, like, we can leave them off. Like, it's not, I guess, disrespectful to leave him off this list, but to me, it still is. Like, I don't know. He's still that guy. Obviously a major reason for their success. At number 4, I have Austin Matthews. At number 3, I have Nate MacKinnon. I know he had a bit of a down year. I mean, not a down year. Colorado's still great, but to me, there's not 3 players better than Nathan MacKinnon. At number 2, I have Nikita Kucherov. Maybe a little bit high, and I know Tampa's good, but it is what it is. I have him at 2, and then obviously I want to have McDavid.
All right. Honorable.
A little. Wait. Before we get into it, Shane texted the group today that he's going to drop an absolute bomb.
I changed my mind.
Oh,
Kinda. I'm still gonna get heat, but it's not as big as it was. Honorable mention to my boy Victor Hedman, best defenseman. I tried for hours to get this guy on my list, and I just couldn't do it. Shockingly, Matt's gonna chirp me for this. I don't have Leon Draisaitl on this list, but I had him at a tie with the person I have at 5, but apparently I wasn't allowed to have a tie. So at 5, Nathan MacKinnon. At 5.
You're crazy.
At 5. I built this list as if I was a GM and these players available and I could pick them.
Even your dogs think you're stupid.
and look me in the eyes and tell me that there's 4 players that are better than Nathan MacKinnon.
Wait for the list. All right. So like I said, I did this as if I was like a fantasy draft person who I would take in this exact order. At number 4, build from the net out, Andrei Vasilevsky. His career has said enough for that. At 3, surprisingly, very surprisingly, Austin Matthews. All right, he's at 3. Matt said I said he's the second best, but I forgot about a player. At 2, Nikita Kucherov. What he did, like I said before, he won the Hart Trophy with like 128 points. What was it, 2 years ago? And it was the most points in like 15 years that someone scored or something. At one, obviously, Connor McDavid. That is all. The only reason I took McKinnon over Draisaitl was because McKinnon's carried a team. McKinnon's carried a team, and Draisaitl technically has not carried a team as much as McKinnon has. So that was my tiebreaker for what I had to decide at number 5.
Matt looks like he's gonna be sick.
I knew it. I knew as soon as I said it. I texted you guys that Matt was gonna hate it.
There's not a chance in the world that there's 4 better players in the NHL on this planet than Nathan
I'd
McKinnon.
rather have a goalie over Nathan McKinnon.
There's not a chance in the world that Andrei Vasilevsky is a better hockey player than Nathan
Andrei
McKinnon.
Vasilevsky has more value to his team than Nathan McKinnon does.
You said it yourself that Andrei Vasilevsky plays with a team in front of him. You
He
said
does,
it.
but a goalie that good is more valuable than a forward. And you can ask any GM.
This is not the top 5 most valuable players.
But I just said at the beginning who I would take. To me, I'm taking a guy who's more valuable to my team.
Okay, then you did the list not like we said, but okay.
You literally said the same thing that I did to start your list about who you're taking if you could take 5 players. I
Correct.
took my 5
I
players.
took the 5 best players.
And Andrei Vasilevsky is absolutely a top 5 player in the NHL.
I don't think so. Not over. Well, okay, maybe, but not over Nathan McKinnon. No chance. Not a chance on the planet.
Oh, we got a Walker.
Like, I don't even know why he's walking away. Like, that's like his take. I think is more crazy.
It's not that.
The best goalie in the league, in the world, not a top 5 NHL player.
I said okay, but he's not better than Nathan McKinnon.
It's hard to compare. Like, I mean, I don't know. You're comparing a quarterback to a backer. Like, it's,
Yeah, I guess.
you know, I don't know. If we did like top 5 forwards, there's no way McKinnon's 5. You know.
Yeah.
I think everyone interprets this differently. I think it's all fair, like good and fair. Don't think anything was that controversial. The only thing I don't like was I think Matthews might end up having a better career than Nate McKinnon, which is still a very bold thing to say. Right now, he's to me right now he's not there.
He's just better for me on defense than McKinnon is.
Fair enough.
The same thing I said about McDavid and Matthews. McKinnon's just more electric than Matthews is.
Sam, you've been quiet.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know, man. If you ask every NHL player, except for McKinnon and Matthews and the Colorado Avalanche and the Toronto Maple Leafs roster, who's a better player, McKinnon or Matthews? I think 3/4 of the league will tell you Nathan McKinnon.
I don't think it's that much. I think it's a lot closer than that.
I don't know. I think McKinnon's a more complete player than Matthews.
I would love to can we do that? I would love to
Do you
have
have
like
the
a
contact
poll.
information for
No, but I don't mean for that.
2019.
But I mean like put it on the story. You know,
Oh, hell yeah.
flip it up. Let's see what people think.
You should do that. You should.
I would love to know what the players think of these huge arguments. You know, because you guys could have kept going for like 20 minutes. Someone had to step in, or it was gonna get ugly.
Oh yeah, we could have gone for a full episode right there on just that argument.
To me, it's just Nathan McKinnon is the second best player in the world right now, easily.
I'm gonna text Ryan and ask him what he thinks.
I'd like to know. And while he does that, let's go to our lock of the week in terms of betting. So my lock of the week might not be as big a lock as it was, as bold of as a lock. Like last week, I bet Charles Oliveira to win, and he did, and that made me some money. This week, I have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl both recording a point in Game 1 on Wednesday. I started at McDavid, but I felt like that was just kind of whatever. It's not really a lock anymore at this point. I mean, it's just like it's a closed door. Like you can't open it. That's how much of a lock it is to have him scoring a point. So I said I'll get both of them to score. Maybe they'll get one on the power play or something. So yeah, get both of them to have a point in Game 1 on Wednesday against the Jets.
Ladies and gentlemen, We're going back to baseball. My boy Vladdy is going to homer in the series against Boston. That's my lock of the week. Lock her in.
Tuesday, May 18th, when this episode's released, actually, I believe. Panthers, they're hungry. They're going to win game 2 against the Lightning. And Austin Matthews sucks. So.
I went with a little bit of a funnier one this week. The game that everyone's waiting for still, the last game of the regular season in the NHL on Wednesday night. Calgary will beat Vancouver. That's your lock.
Okay.
All right. My lock is a little bit bolder than I normally go. The Habs will win game 1.
Whoa.
That was my bold prediction. My bold prediction was them by 2 goals.
That's my lock of the week.
Wow. You have them to win game 1 and not make it out of that series. That's
Yeah,
that is
game 1 is an automatic 100%. You make it to the next round.
I didn't say it was.
So why would I need to have them out of the series?
Oh, the tension
Oh,
is really
this is such
too
an
much here.
unnecessary argument.
Why would I need them to win the series if I have them winning game 1?
I don't know. More often than not, the team who wins game 1 wins the series. No.
And if you're confident enough to put it as your lock of the week, then you got to think they're doing
Yeah, if
something
I
in this
said they're
series.
winning the series as my lock of the week, that's different.
know.
I said they're winning game 1.
All right.
I heard from Ryan.
Yeah. What do you say?
Verdict is in.
I said, who's a better player, McKinnon or Matthews, and why? He said McKinnon.
I knew that was coming.
He's still typing as to why.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear this.
It's gonna be an
To be
answer.
continued.
As Ryan types, speaking of Ryan, Sam, we're done here. But tell the fans a little bit about Press Box Chatter.
Sure.
Press box chatter. So it's me and Ryan Castellino, longtime friend. It's our hockey podcast. We like to call it more of a show because the style that you guys have of your podcast is you guys. Ryan and I always say how impressed you are about how much you guys know about so many sports.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about it today. It's wild. You heard me. I don't know anything about basketball. So you guys, you're very much a sports analyst kind of podcast where you kind of dive deep into the sports and you know a lot of the stuff that average people don't necessarily know about the sports. So Ryan and I, we're guys in a media program, so we know about writing, we know about like writing scripts and stuff. So it's a show. We call it a show rather than a podcast because it's a 10-minute fully scripted podcast or show, I guess. We do a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different voices, and essentially what we do is we recap the week that was in the NHL, but not in a normal style. We try to incorporate different pop culture news. We try to be funny with it, like it's a comedy hockey show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we've been at it for 18 weeks. Episodes every Wednesday. Like I'm calling him after this because we got to record our playoff preview. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. I'm sure you guys have a blast doing this.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing like it, man. It's a lot of fun when you're talking about what you love with some of your best buds.
Absolutely. And where can they find Press Box Chatter?
You can find it on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, iHeartRadio, which nobody uses. And we have Instagram at PressBoxChatter and Twitter at PressBXChatter.
Bro, Twitter, they have so many limitations on how long your name could be. It's so annoying.
That's ridiculous. So
annoying.
yeah, PressBXChatter is us on Twitter. And I don't think anywhere else.
All right.
No.
Has Ryan gotten back to us?
No, nothing. He's still typing.
All right.
All right.
Well, as we still wait, I just want to say for people who say you don't have enough time to watch a bunch of podcasts and stuff. The thing I like the most about Press Box Chatter is that they do it in 10 minutes or less. Who doesn't have 10 minutes during the week, right? If I'm gonna listen to it, it's if you're gonna say during the day I can't watch it, I'm at work and stuff. If you're watching an NHL hockey game, there's no chance.
Maybe.
There's no chance that during the intermission you don't have who does anything during the intermission. Intermission's supposed to be 20 minutes of running time, and then you go back on. Your thing's 10 minutes. Why not take a listen to Press Box?
Why not fucking watch it twice?
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Yeah, we send out a tweet like just before the Habs game is on, just before period ends. We'll send out a tweet like, got 10 minutes during the intermission.
Hell
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
No,
honestly,
obviously.
and one of the most creative ideas we've seen.
It's
Like
awesome.
podcasts are really what's the word? Like diluted, not diluted, but anyways, they're polluted. It's all the same stuff now.
Yeah,
It
diluted.
seems like it's a lot of the same stuff. But you guys are so creative, and who doesn't have time? Listen to it on your drive to work. Like it's
Yeah.
10 minutes long. That's it, and you're great. Like it's gonna put you in a good mood for the rest of the week. So
Hell yeah.
give them a listen for sure.
That was Ryan's idea. What's that?
The funniest thing that I've seen was like when you guys posted that trailer of you coming out of the hot tub with all your hockey equipment on. That killed me. That was funny.
Yeah.
That
Thanks,
was
man. We're gonna try to do more video stuff because
Yeah.
it's all audio. You don't really know what we look like. So we do our previews and we're like, let's switch it up, do some video. So
Hell yeah.
what's the stupidest thing I could think of? And then I'm like, full equipment in a hot tub.
Hell
Yeah. I
Set
think
the
that's-
bar pretty high though.
Yeah, like I think that's where most of like the best, like our best content comes from is that we're not just talking about sports. We're doing like different segments. We're playing games. We're holding up papers, doing
Talking about
trivia.
food.
Yeah, like we're not just a bland podcast. And like our best content comes on YouTube because everyone can see like when I say something dumb and Shaner just absolutely hates it. Like you'll see his face just light up and like he can't wait till I'm done talking so he can just
Yeah.
freaking roast me. Like it's just so funny like that sometimes, Mm-hmm.
You guys are
Ryan's still
killing it.
typing.
No, it's at the point where when it's the typing
Yeah.
bubble and then it goes away and it's just gone.
Yeah.
So anyway, McKinnon's better
Yeah.
than Matt. Sorry.
We'll let you know Ryan's answer on the NBC story, but I'm not taking Matt's job here. But Sam, thank you for joining us, my man.
Thank you very, very much for having me, guys. I had a blast.
Matt Enderoff.
Yeah, listen, I mean, Dawson was about to head into it, but I guess I'll end the show here. Once again, Sam, thank you for joining us. Great insight on hockey. I mean, NBA was not your thing, but we really thought that was pretty funny too. I appreciate you sticking by me on the McKinnon over Matthews thing because that's a fight I've been having with Shane for a while.
It's a good thing we're not at our apartment today because it would be 10 rounds of an absolute bloodbath.
It would. It's okay. But yeah, just a reminder, go check us out. All of our social media platforms at Nothing But Controversy. As we said, Twitter kind of sucks. So we're at NB Controversy on Twitter. But yeah, if you're still watching this video, just take a scroll down, give us a little like, give us a little comment, subscribe, share our video, and Shaner will give you 2 kisses this week.
Matthews.
Whoa.